most nations rise to power, and they want to rise to absolute power. And once they get to absolute power, then it seems that they fall. The Babylonians, the Syrians, the Romans, and then who's next on the list to do that? So I think that pattern, maybe we should look at how governments do things.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm hearing where you're coming from, and all I'm trying to say is that although you're probably 80% right, if we throw out that other 20%, then these forces actually don't want to do government. They want to basically just take the money and exact power. But true government, what that really means is there's two things. There's democracy and there's the republic. The republic means that the comfort is there, and the democracy means that everybody's voice is heard. So republic is for needs being met. Democracy is for voices being heard. So government is basically a structure that allows people to try to unify together to get the basic necessities done for society. Now, with the things I'm talking about with these new sciences and so forth, similar to what Redfield wrote in the Celestine Prophecy, in the future we can expect that a lot more of these things will be automated and will be done very well, especially if you have anti-gravity craft and that kind of thing. So I really don't think government is going to play that much of a role anymore. I really do think that when society evolves as a whole, that the intrinsic compassion of each person will become its own determinant of their behavior. So yeah, I mean, right now, there's no point in getting upset about government. You know, if you want to change it, then get in there and change it. Make a vote. You know, make a difference if you can. But basically, the real challenge right now is not to try to focus on the conspiracies and stuff. It's to focus on your inner work and what you can do to help yourself evolve, regardless of who's in power, how tyrannical various governments might be, etc. But Lamar, I really want to thank you for that call. It's a great question.
David, do you do general predictions as well? For example, I mean, will we ever send men to Mars? Are we going to get hit by an asteroid? Do you ever look at things like that?
The source I work with would probably see those questions as a little too unimportant because they don't directly relate to something that would matter in 10,000 years as much as it does today. Because what we're really looking for is evolution of mind, body, and spirit questions.
All right. Let's go west of the Rockies. You're on Coast to Coast with us. Hi there.
Hi.
Hi. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Orlando, Florida.
Orlando. And what's your name?
My name's Missy.
Hi, Missy. Go ahead.
Oh, George, I just love you so much. I love listening to your voice, sir. You're so open-minded and gentle. I had to talk with you both.
George rocks. Let's face it. He rocks.
Awesome. Thank you for taking my call. I'm very, very, very enthused about what you're talking about tonight, David, because when you were reading off the checklist, the Wanderer checklist to George, I was just kind of following it along with it myself.
Bing, 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 huh?
Yeah, all of them. I don't think there's one that I don't fit. And
you're an alien too, Missy, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Maybe so. But it all made sense to me. So I was like, oh, well, that explains a lot. You know.
Yeah, you volunteered to be here and do this.
Yes, and when you said that,
thank you for your service.
It meant so much to me when you said that. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like that makes sense. And it was really neat too because you also said, why do you listen to this show every night? And I'm like. My main priority was, other than when the hurricane was coming through, other than staying alive, was getting a radio so I could listen to the Coast to Coast show.
Well, call up the C. Crane Company. They got a good one.
That's good. My question is, what do I do now?
What do you do?
What should I do?
Well,
is that what I do?
Okay, here's the deal. If you've awakened to the fact that you might be an extraterrestrial soul and that you're here on a volunteer mission of service, the next step is to figure out what's most important. The Law of One series said, if you can reach one person, you reach everyone. Who do you think, Missy, is the most important person you need to reach?
I have two answers for that.
Yourself?
That's one of them.
That's the right one.
Is it? Okay, I was thinking the other one is just my students, because I teach, and I love teaching them. But myself was the first one.
Reaching out to yourself is important. The highest goal of any wanderer on this planet is simply this, to radiate the realization of oneness with the Creator.
Oh, wow.
It's improvisational. It's like playing jazz. It changes. Somebody will be hurt in the street, you go and help them. Yeah. Somebody needs a shoulder to cry on, you help them. You go to the checkout counter at the grocery store, you smile at the person, it's the first person to smile at them all day.
Always.
Little things all over the place. That's what makes the difference. But Missy, thank you so much for your call. I love your enthusiasm. It's great talking with you.
I'll be at your website. Thank you
Cool.
folks so much.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, dear. Let's go to our East of the Rockies line. You're on Coast to Coast with us. Hi there.
Hello.
Yeah, where are you calling from?
My name's Jason. I'm from Lynchburg, Kansas.
Sure, Jason.
Jason.
Listening
welcome.
to you on KSAL.
Yep.
Good to talk to you, George and David. I had a question about, unfortunately, you can't count a finite amount of, or infinite number of things in a finite amount of time, so I just have one question for you.
All right,
Well,
thank
hit
you.
it off. Let's go for it.
I had an experience a couple, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, where I was walking down a country road with my friends out here in Kansas, and
Okay.
I was looking up at the Pleiades constellation. And I've always felt like I was the wanderer that you've been speaking of on this show.
Good.
And blah, blah, blah. I don't have a question about it. But
Thank you for volunteering to do this mission.
Yes. I feel like I'm even going to come back again. But anyway.
Okay. So you have this experience out on the roads in Kansas with your friends. What
Correct.
happened?
I'm looking at the Pleiades constellation, and I see a lucid vision of a leaf, okay, over a bed of water. The bed of water is in like almost a crystalline
Okay.
structure, like
Okay, got
diamond
it.
shaped.
Got it.
And the spine of the leaf is very curly, that the edges are really jagged, and it was so lucid it was like I could have reached out and touched it. And I was wondering what significance that might have. And ever since then, I've really felt connected with that constellation.
Okay. Basically, that probably is telling you that that's where you came from, because the leaf is something that comes from it's the fruit of a living thing, and water in dreams generally means the world of spirit. So what it's saying is, it's like you're the leaf that fell from the Pleiades and landed in the water of spirit to take on a human form. That's probably a symbolic way of telling you that you're a Pleiadian. That would be my guess.
Interesting. Okay, thanks for that phone call, Jason. Appreciate you being on Coast to Coast. Next up is the clock. Oh, my gosh, where'd the time go?
Hi there, George. Hi, David. It's Nita in Jacksonville.
Hi, Nita.
Hey, Nita, how's it going? Nice to hear from you.
Good. Yeah, I just really wanted to call and say, George, I am a first-time listener as well.
Well, great. I'm glad you're with us.
Yeah. It's
I know
funny
Nita
how-
pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to call and say is I had a reading with David about a year ago. I have the book. I've ordered the CD, and David and I have a reading this weekend, kind of like a yearly tune-up or whatever. And
Do you think he's Edgar Casey, Nita?
yes, I do. David has some really interesting information in my reading, and I, too, am a wanderer, but I kind of found it in a similar way, but I found it more about physical characteristics than thoughts and feelings. It was kind of a fluke, how I found out about it, because I was just on the Internet, and have known for a long time that I have an extra vertebrae in my back.
Right, I remember this, yeah.
And I Googled extra vertebrae, and the ET quiz came up in addition to umpteen medical websites.
Really?
And I started reading about that.
That's weird.
Brad Steiger has a book called Star People where it talks about the fact that this extra vertebrae is a symbol of the ET soul. It's one of the things that the ET DNA does to the human DNA when the person tries to push into a physical body. And Nita is definitely an extraterrestrial soul. I do remember your story.
Yeah, so it's been really interesting, but like I said...
And you felt the reading was useful, that it gave you something that was valuable.
Yes.
Good.
We have a lot to talk about, and when I talked to you on Sunday, but I'm really intrigued by what you said about the hurricane, because I'm here in Jacksonville, and it's a thing I do. I never work on Friday the 13th, and Jacksonville was directly in line for that hurricane if it hit Tampa. And I was kind of doing the Reiki on the hurricane, too, and just kind of hoping for the best possible outcome, and we barely got rain where I live.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. Let's talk again on Sunday. I think we might be able to get one more caller in. So
Nope.
We'll chat soon.
We will not get any more calls in. The clock is here. We only got about a minute left. Ascension 2000. Very quickly, you said you have a cruise coming up?
Yeah, I have a cruise to the Caribbean in October, and I have a trip to Egypt in April.
Egypt?
Yeah, we're going to do the Great Pyramid. We're going to do all kinds of great stuff. Half of it is a cruise on the Nile. If you want to come on one of these, George, I'll see if I can work it out.
No, I'm not going to be able to get away, but I will see you. I will see you next weekend at the Expo conference.
And I hope we can see some of your listeners there too. It's going to be fun to meet you, George.
There'll be a lot of people out there, David. Thanks a lot.
All right, man.
For David Wilcox, thank you so much again. Steve Carr, Dan Galante, Tom Danheiser, Lisa Lyon, Lex Lonehood, webmaster, Sean LaDesseur, who works with Lex, Barbara Simpson, and Art Bell.